Proud of You is a parenting advice podcast and support group for dads hosted by two goofy dads. They are not pediatricians, nutritionists, OBGYNs, psychologists, nor are they authorities on parenting. They're just two dinguses trying to figure it all out. Their advice should not be taken as expert information. Parenting looks different for everyone, and there's no wrong way to be a dad. Frankly, if you're taking the time to listen to a podcast about it, you're already doing a great job. And these dads are proud of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Derek Mata.
And I'm Andrew Goody. And we are proud of you. Derek, this week is going to be lit, no cap.
You can't say so. God,
what do you mean? What do you mean I'm too old to say things like lit and fam and no cap?
But you see, I think lit and fam is more our generation, like the tail end of our generation. Shit like no cap is
squarely Gen Z, Gen Alpha.
Is that what they're called now? I don't. Whatever's after us.
Yeah, death is after us, but
ouch, rough. Oh shit. But no, because like these kids these days, you see, I scroll through my Facebook Reels because that's what old people watch, and then I watch TikTok.
Facebook Reels are just TikToks from 3 weeks ago. It's fine. You're still in the loop.
No, I'm not though. So I'm seeing these videos of these kids, or like, hey, if you have teenagers, this is what they talk like, and I'm like, what the fuck are these kids saying? I lost track after 2010. I'm
gonna start just an ongoing kids these days counter for every time you say weird old man shit.
They're in my fucking lawn too.
No, so Derek and I have been talking about slang and how funny it is because Derek is bothered by young people's slang.
I'm bothered by young people. That's what it is.
I mean, fair. You're bothered by kids these days. But it got us talking about, because there's some stuff like I don't know. I definitely don't think I'm like hip with the Gen Z. Even Gen Z, like Gen Z is the working generation now. Like Gen Alpha is like the youngest generation that is now starting to have their own slang and stuff.
So like Lucas's age, teenagers.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Lucas is probably like beginning of Gen Alpha, maybe end of Gen Z. But yeah, it's wild, man, because some of the stuff, and so like transparently, I looked up a bunch of Gen Alpha and Gen Z slang for this, and a lot of it I was like, and some of it, like some generational slang is stuff that like comes and goes and comes back around and everything, but like some of this stuff is stuff that I've never even heard. Like I feel pretty hooked in. Like I spend arguably far too much time on the internet, and watch far too much TikTok and Instagram and all the social banality. But like some of these things I've never heard used casually. Like there are terms like Riz and Cap and Fam that you like hear tossed around, and kind of like you were talking about, right? Fam is one of those things. I think Fam started at like the tail end of the millennial generation, but then became like an iconic term for Gen Z. Bougie is similar, right? Like when something is bougie, it's like extravagant or cool or like over the top.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's not new age slang though.
Well, so it's interesting, right? Because like digging into some of these, like bougie is a term, and I use it all the time, right? Because I'm bougie as fuck. I am what the kids these days call extra, which is another one, right?
Oh god, like we're gonna sound so fucking terrible.
Oh, dude, so old.
But I don't think anybody's like, calling you extra old, man.
I'm bougie, and I joke about it all the time. That like, and Derek gives me a bad time for being bougie with my cocktails. Emily gives me a bad time for being bougie with my cooking, and by gives me a bad time, I mean loves my cooking, but hates that it takes me 2 hours to cook.
See, like bougie is just high end. Like, hey,
Yeah,
the neighbors across the street drive a bougie car. Not, hey, they're great at cooking. Like, we'll take our friend Matt. He's a great cook. Will I call it bougie cooking? No, it is fantastic and it is delicious. I wouldn't call
so
it bougie.
so the slang term bougie is a shortening of the ancient term bourgeoisie.
Yeah, for those of you
Which
who are
just
not
means like,
well educated.
yeah, it just means like rich and extravagant and over the top, right? So like, I would call Matt's cooking bougie, right? Because like he's not just throwing a burger on the grill or heating up a hot pocket. He's taking his time and using some culinary techniques to slow cook a chef like meal. That's bougie. That's extravagant, right?
No, I mean, I guess you're not wrong. Okay, so then since we're on the topic of things that come back around, I have a list over here that I was going to quiz you on of older slang terms. Things that you could think was in my time but are before me. Like the word hipster. Like hipster, what decade do you think that was first used? At least based off my list here.
I mean, that's tough, right? Because I know the term hipster dates like way back. The way that we use it now, which is to describe people with my haircut, my beard, my glasses, and my red flannel shirt that I'm wearing. Poster boy of the hipster generation. Like, I think I would say like probably within the last 10 years or so, that term really started to pop off.
No, it came back,
but,
yes.
Yeah. But like originally, I want to say like 1930s, 1940s, maybe.
No, actually, no. I mean, maybe, but I looked up the most popular because I'm not going to look into the history of these fucking words. 1950s.
Okay.
The hipster is an innovative and trendy person. Would you say you are innovative and or trendy?
I would say that. Nobody who is actually innovative or trendy would call me that, but
I'd say you're a trendy person, maybe. Maybe my definition of trendy has changed, or the definition has changed and mine is not.
yeah, you still think the same things that were cool when you were listening to Linkin Park in 2003 were the hot hits of trendiness.
Was never a huge Linkin Park fan, but that's neither here nor there. But I get what you're saying. But it's funny though, because then in the '60s, hippie derived from hipster. But like, at no point do I see the two. Like, a hipster is you. I would never call you a hippie.
I happen to be both. I dress like a hipster and act like a hipster, but I am also a giant hippie.
Fair.
It's what's funny is like I think that's an interesting insight into how language evolves, right? Because in the 50s, a hipster was a trendsetter, somebody who was kind of doing the newest thing.
Yeah.
And at some point, somebody was doing the newest thing in the 60s, and they were like listening to the Grateful Dead and growing out their hair and wearing a tie-dyed shirt, and that was like on the cutting edge. And so they started like, those were the hipsters of the 60s, and they became hippies. And then that term just became the guy with the tie-dyed hair or like the tie-dyed shirt and the long hair listening to the Grateful Dead. And then the term hipster kind of kept moving, right? And came back around in, I don't know, I want to say like the mid 2000s.
Hold on, without trying to ruin anything, it does not pop back up on this list, but yeah. So I mean,
I feel like it came back around whenever Arcade Fire got popular.
I
Know
like, the name, I don't know the band.
Yeah, because they're a super hipster band.
Oh.
You would recognize Pumped Up Kicks if you heard it on the radio.
No, that's
but
I know a version of that song, but that again.
Oh no, that's not Arcade Fire.
No,
anyway, it doesn't matter.
Is
I'm clearly a bad hipster.
Yes, you are. Give me one from this generation, because like, or the past 10, 20 years, we'll say.
So we talked about extra,
Yeah.
right? If something's extra, what does it mean?
It's just a little over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly over the top. Okay. What does chuggy mean?
What the
I'm only guessing on that pronunciation because this is one of the ones that was on this list that I have never heard before. Cheugy, Chugi. I'm assuming it's Chugi. Again, I am not hip.
Cheu.
Cheugy.
I have never heard of that.
It is common Gen Z slang. Again, never heard of it, internet. Thanks for making me feel decrepit. For something that is not trendy.
So us.
Like those, yeah, that Proud of You podcast is chuggy, man. Those shoes, chuggy.
Oh god.
Somebody somewhere who actually knows how to pronounce that word is probably like dying right now because I'm probably horribly. I just like literally never heard of it.
I'm putting this on our TikTok and our Instagram because I want somebody to watch it and tell us, are we using it correctly and the actual pronunciation? Because I have never heard of that one.
Yeah, hashtag Chugi. Tell us what it means.
And it's funny though, because I'm looking at this list and I'm like, man, I need a new list because this is shit I feel like you and I, or at least April and I still use.
Yeah.
Like, the man.
Yeah.
Like,
the government, the boss.
Yeah.
Whoever's in charge.
Person of authority, right? Like,
yeah.
That makes sense. Like, look out for the man.
Okay, hold on. Counterpoint, mother.
Your maternal figure who gave birth to you.
Nah, it's any iconic female. So like Beyonce, mother. Lady Gaga, mother. And that's when you hear
Do you hear hand movement too.
I mean, I do, but I'm sure cooler people than I don't. No, but like, and I've heard this used commonly. I have friends, well, probably not our age, but I have younger friends who say like, oh, like, mother said it, so it has to be true about like some Lady Gaga quote or something. It's usually, most commonly, my friends are saying it about Taylor Swift.
No.
It's outside for you.
No, not Taylor Swift. See, mother is an older maternal figure.
Mother is your mom.
Yeah, an older
mother is who raised
figure.
you.
So like, Taylor Swift is younger than me, so I would never say. I mean, even if she had a kid, I wouldn't say mother.
But she's more iconic than you.
I don't give a fuck.
She's all of our moms.
No, she's not. I do not accept that.
All right. Well, both my response to that and my next one on the list, Say Less.
I feel like Say Less is still that was still early 2000s to mid 2000s, pretty much like
100%. I think Say Less was like high on all of the Gen Z slang lists. I'm like, I feel like Say Less was something we said in like high school and even like middle school. Like
Say Less is pretty much say no more, but like with less words.
Like I got this, I got it, understood.
Yeah, I understand.
Heard, chef.
Saying. Nobody says heard, chef.
I say heard, chef.
Yeah, you're ancient like I am, so that makes sense. But that's a simple one. I still don't say. I every so often I will say less, and I'm like, no, that's not right. Like, no, I understand. I comprehend what you are telling me.
I say less all the time, but
you're just trying to stay young, man.
There were a few on here that I was like, maybe I am trendy. Maybe I do.
All right.
Or maybe I'm just appropriating this generation's slang to feel like I'm not decrepit.
Hold on, let me give me another one. I'm looking up a different list because this one is too simple. This is because it's like bodacious, chillin', dweeb, get down, like it.
So this is one that started a long time ago, kind of fell out of fashion and came back around. Salty.
Can I have it in a sentence?
April's salty about that comment you made at the party the other night.
So she's upset about it.
Upset in like a jealous kind of way.
Why is it? Where's the jealousy here?
I don't know. Maybe you made a comment about some other chick and your wife is salty about it.
God, I am so not with the times. Right.
So this is a term that came up in like the 1930s.
Is it really?
Yeah. But it back in the day it was like being grumpy after work, right? Like a salty sea dog was somebody who had been like working in the Navy for a really long time and was just like old and hardened by the
Yeah,
ocean,
there's an
right?
angry old man. Like that
Yeah.
makes sense. A salty sea
Salty.
dog.
It's salty. It's like grumpy, right? Now it's more like I said, like jealous or I mean, it can still mean upset. But it's usually with some connotation of like you did something that made that person be upset with you, so they're salty with you.
Nope.
Man, we sound so old.
No, I do, and you're kind of you're on the edge there.
I'm a young adult. You're an old man.
Again, Boomer Derek and these damn kids these days. I'm trying to find something that has all of the. Hold on. Let's do 1960s because I feel like you're very well versed in 60s slang.
Why do you think I'm well versed in
Because
60s slang? I'm well versed in like 90s slang because it's still the way I talk.
Okay, your pad.
Your house.
You're gonna crash.
I'm driving in a car poorly.
So I'm trying to think.
Oh, like fall asleep.
I'm gonna crack.
Yeah, like crash out. Crash on your couch.
Yeah. I'm gonna split.
Leave.
Oh.
I mean, you just threw the thumb in there.
Here's a good one.
This is not 60s.
No,
this is not 60s slang.
60s
There's no
slang
way.
for places coming and going. That is what it says. All right. Here's one. I've never heard of this one. The bean wagon.
That's what Bush's Baked Beans delivers their food in.
No.
My only other guess is wildly inappropriate. So what do you think?
Let's hear it, because you know what?
No.
So a bean wagon is a cheap restaurant.
All right, I can see that.
And
Beans are a cheap food.
and
I don't know where the wagon comes into there.
You know, wagons way back in the old days in the mid.
Yeah, but it's not like a food truck. It's the 60s.
Yeah, the wagons are from the olden days because we grew up in the 1900s. Cool.
I'm just gonna go ahead and take an L on that one.
Here we go. Miscellaneous slang. All right, what is a boob tube?
TV.
The 5-finger disc?
A TV exclusively for watching pornography on, apparently.
No, it is literally just.
I've never understood where the term boob tube came from.
Like, I've always called it the boob tube. 5-finger discount. This is 60 slang.
5-finger discount? Yeah. That's just stealing.
Yeah, it's a euphemism for stealing.
I feel like a lot of 60s slang stuck around, though. I feel like this became colloquialism.
Yeah, a zit.
A zit? Like a pimple?
If something's lame, a gig. Apparently, yeah, weave flip-flops is a 60s.
These are just words. You're not like this is not slang. You're just reading a dictionary.
Okay, chrome dome, 60s slang for people.
Slang for people? Not slang for bald people?
Well, a bald man is a chrome dome. Is a person.
Gotcha. I thought you just meant like people in general.
Oh, okay. Here's an interesting one. What is a badass? In the 60s, what was a badass?
In the 60s, that would have been like Geddy Lee, maybe Eric Clapton.
And what makes them a badass? Like the definition of a badass.
No, I don't know. Like a really cool person.
No. Nowadays, yes, a badass is a really cool person. A badass was a troublemaker.
I mean, I feel like those terms just evolved from one another because
I feel like yes, they've kind of
some goody grandma was like, that badass over there is causing a real ruckus, and that badass was like Axl Rose.
Let me see. The old lady, old man. We all know that one. That one's still around. Like, hey, that's my old lady.
Oh, like husband and wife? I feel like that's fallen out of like casual culture, mostly because I think that women started getting offended by their husbands calling them their old lady.
I think it kind of pretty much died with our fathers, like our father's generation. Yeah. Give me something.
If I say I'm finna step out.
I mean, that one's pretty. That's just somebody just saying, I'm gonna leave for a brief moment all retarded. I mean, all
Yeah, I
stupid.
don't.
That has to be edited out.
I don't understand how the like a lot of slang. I understand like the etymology of where the words came from, right? Finna confuses me because finna, the like universal definition that I could find on the internet for finna is a truncated or shortened way to say I'm going to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the term I'm gonna has been around
Forever.
for a century.
Or it's
finna is not any shorter than gonna, and where did the fin come in?
okay.
Like,
So what I'm thinking of. So I grew up in Texas and whatnot. Like I'm fixing to.
oh, okay. I didn't think about the southern. That guarantee that's where that etymology comes from. Yeah, it's I'm fixing to step out. I'm finna step out. Okay, I'll give it to you.
Dude, damn, I'm so good. High five, Derek. Oh man.
Yeah, I'll give that.
See, like I used to say, like way back before it was cool. I used to say I'm a. It's like instead of I'm going to. Like
Yeah.
because I was just
I'm
lazy texture, so like I'm a whatever I was gonna fucking do.
Yeah, that's just cursive with your mouth.
What the? All right, I'm going on 70s here. 70s for you, old man. But here's a good one. This is 70s slang for places coming and going. Peace, love, and granola.
I don't know, just like, hey, what the? I have no idea. What the
It
fuck?
is goodbye and positive wishes.
I feel like one guy's grandpa said that, and that guy wrote this internet
It might
article.
be.
Please
Like,
continue.
It's on yourdictionary.com. So like I'm not gonna sit here and scroll until I can find something. I was like, this looks good.
Hashtag not my dictionary.
I mean, this is one we all know. The Shaggin' Wagon.
Yeah, it's a car you have
Man,
sex in.
the Vista Cruiser from that 70s show.
Which is funny because that wasn't even like a van.
Was it?
That was
Station
a
wagon.
it was a
But
station
still-
wagon, which I guess.
But then
was
you
a
think,
wagon.
I don't know
Okay.
if you saw the entire series, which I did because I love that show. Like Kelso's van.
Kelso's
yeah.
van. Yeah, it's a shaggin' wagon
What's
for sure.
cracking?
What's going on?
Keep on stepping.
That just means like move along, right?
Get
Specifically, like move along, or I'm gonna fuck you up.
out of here.
Yeah.
Bomb. This is what used to say. Oh, I guess it's gonna give it away, so I can't say it.
Oh, bomb, like cool,
Yeah.
like dope. Yeah.
Off the hook, out of sight, all same. Here we go. Hold on. Slang for things. Bad.
Bad. In the 70s, that's got to mean
That
cool.
means good. Great.
Yeah. No, that's so bad in the 70s is what sick in our generation was, right?
You're right.
Like, oh, that's sick.
I didn't think about that.
It's always just that reverse.
The man comes back in the 70s for law enforcement or establishment authority figures.
Yeah, the man has always been around, man.
The hairy eyeball.
I'll take weird sex acts for 500, Alex.
No, you don't get the money on that one. It's a nasty stare. So you're mean mugging.
The hairy eyeball?
Eyeball is mean mugging.
That's
Yeah.
weird, man. Okay, I'll give it to you. I get it.
All right, slang for people. A closet disco queen.
Something offensive to the LGBT community.
Actually, no. Not even a little bit.
Okay.
It's pretty much, dance like nobody's watching. One who
Yeah.
dances at home where no one can see, but not in public.
Oh, okay. So like somebody who sings in the shower, but
Okay,
dancing.
so here's one that I didn't know. Okay, so brick house. Like this is slang for people.
Attractive woman.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you not? She's a brick
I
house.
was just talking about something
She's mighty,
I-
letting it all hang out.
yeah, no, I never knew that's what that meant. So I was just like a brick house. Like, what the fuck? Like, My brick house is stout.
Yeah, man. Strong,
It's
powerful,
a
sexy.
space cadet.
Space cadet? Like somebody who's like just dazing out there. This is the 70s, somebody who's super high.
Yes, but a airhead or a goofy person.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I know because my grandpa used to call me a space cadet all the time. And my mom still does.
That should worry you. Like, Mom, I've got my life together now.
I mean, I'm still doing this podcast with you once a week, so it's not all the way together.
I'm sorry. um, You Decent is still used. Catch on the Flip Side. That's on my Jeep right now, actually. Catch My Drift. I feel like it's still. Do you copy?
Again, I feel like a lot of these, and it's actually interesting looking at these lists and thinking about like what has just stuck around,
like,
right, and become kind of commonplace.
10-4, good buddy. Keep on trucking. What's your 20?
So now you're getting into the fact that the 70s was a generation where everyone that was cool had a CB radio in their car.
Like in Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, 100%.
Stop dipping in my Kool-Aid.
Is that 70s for Did You Fuck My Wife?
No, it is not.
Okay. I have no idea.
It is mind your own business. Bro, like, I like what you said better, but like,
I could make an argument that those are the same sentiment, but
it's fair. Check you later. Catch it on the flip side. Like,
I think part of this is that like our generation. So like you and I are both millennials, and like, well, like we're both elder millennials, right? We're right on like that end of Gen X, beginning of millennial transition, and like I feel like being older millennials, we were raised by 70s, like the 60s and 70s parents, and therefore a lot of that slang became ours, right? Like I'm sure that if we pull a list of slang from the early 2000s, it's gonna be like half of what Alana says because it's just shit. Like cool beans is probably not Gen Alpha slang, but it absolutely is something that Alana's gonna say because I say cool beans all the time.
It's Hot Rod. You saw that movie? It's a great movie.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. Cool beans.
What do you got for me? Because like I'm
do you know what Riz?
Failing big time.
Yeah, you are. Do you know what Riz is?
So that one confuses me because I see a lot of different, like, okay, so when I see videos like, hey, rizzing them up, or look at, like, and I'm gonna say this wrong because I saw a video the other day, like the Riz or some shit. And I was like, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know because I've seen it.
Do you want me to
use it in so many different contexts?
Do you want me to just blow your mind and simplify this in every possible way? Riz is just short for charisma. So like if somebody has the Riz with the ladies, it just means they're charismatic. If somebody's like rizzing them up, it means that they're talking well. They're charismatic. That's what Riz is, just charisma, but Gen Z doesn't like saying whole words.
Face? I'm not amused.
Yep, 100%. So I was going through like Gen Z and Gen Alpha slang, and one of the things that I noticed, and I'm sure our generation has some of this, right? A lot of their slang is just what I would call vocabulary words shortened. So like they don't want to say charisma, so they say Riz. Taking an L for losing, taking a W for winning. Like it's just shortening things. There's a whole, like, we could probably do an entire other episode on like casually used acronyms, right? For our generation, BRB.
Yeah, I mean that I guess that was because I was
be right back.
We're the texting generation, like.
Because we are the AOL Instant Messenger generation. That is why BRB, LOL, like ROFL, like all of those things. IYK. If you know, you know. That's like that's a more Gen Z thing.
Is it? Yeah, I guess so, because I didn't start seeing it till recent.
For sure. I mean, so the funny thing is, I think if you know is kind of a universal thing. Because I definitely, that's something that our generation said way before, like,
You
again,
gotta think
high
like
school.
we did short things too, because like
But
IRL is, in real life.
in real
MFW, my
life,
face win. TLDR, like
yeah,
we came up with all of this.
yeah. Well, and that's so like TFW is one that was listed on the Gen Z, the feeling when.
No, no,
What do you
I
use
don't. But
TFW for?
no, they're
Oh,
just
okay.
taking our shit and trying to make it their own. I'm not okay with this. Yeah, it's
FTW.
for the win.
Yeah, so fun fact, for a long time, because that is not a new saying, but for a long time, like through college, I was convinced that FTW meant fuck the what. Um, like it just confused, like what, right? And I want you to think about that, and I want you to hold on to this, Derek, and you, dear listener.
Dear listener,
The next time yeah, all one of you. Like the next time you see somebody use FTW, think fuck the what and see if it fits in context, because I almost guarantee you it does.
Nobody uses that anymore, though.
According to the internet, it's a very Gen Z term. I don't
The
know if
internet
that's
is
true.
full of lies.
Yeah. Well, the internet is run by, I mean, Gen X furries, but we won't talk about that. Well, thanks for listening to this ridiculous rambling of slang terms. If we missed anything, throw it down in the comments below, or better yet, when Derek inevitably posts some of this on our short form content, oh man, I just completely lost the word because I'm that disconnected. Respond to us.
Reply, make a comment down below.
Yeah, no, duet. Thank you, duet us
No,
on TikTok.
I think it's called. Fuck! I just did it too.
It's 100% duetting.
Yeah,
stitch it, duet it, whatever you want. But like, share our content, please. Yeah, I am not good at modern social media as much of it as I consume. But yeah, please get the word out there, because we're trying to reach as many people as we can. We talk about it every week, but it's a hard world out there getting a podcast off of its feet, and we've been doing this for a little while, and we would love to share our knowledge and our goofiness with more people. If you have any suggestions for future videos, let us know. If you have any suggestions for slang we should or shouldn't use, let us know. Or
if you want to be on this podcast and just shoot the shit with us for an hour, let us know.
Yeah, no cap.
God damn it! You fucking would.
Anyway, until next week, I'm Andrew Goody.
And I'm Derek Mata.
And we are proud of you. Sheesh!